So the reason... Hey everyone, it's EDRIAN PANGILINAN here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if it's your first time, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button and the notif bell to be part of the family. And welcome back to another video. And just learned my words, but for today I actually wanted to briefly take the time to talk about my thoughts on my thoughts on rejection. And actually also bringing someone very important, someone very special, and there are actually 3 of them in which you will see by the end of this video. But before we get started, I also wanted to talk about this over here because I'm sure this is the big elephant in the room, and this came from that Instagram challenge that I did where I had to blink my eye according to the beat. I'm just kidding. Now my eye, became infected due to stress. I've really been working hard and really have had a lot of sleepless nights. So, please pray for me that my eye gets better. So going back to the video, I was actually reached out to do this certain project with the Filipino channel. We had gone through the talks and I guess meetings on the phone, and I actually thought that everything was good to go until I was told that they just needed one more person to verify it with. I've actually done these kinds of events. With that being said, usually these events are very last minute, so the fact that I didn't hear from them, I started to figure that in fact I didn't get it. In that moment of just kind of allowing myself to, process these feelings of this sucks. I also couldn't help think about my other rejections. The thing that I've actually come into the conclusion of is that I've actually been rejected for pretty big projects. After I was able to overcome the emotional feelings, then and there I realized that I was rejected by these big projects and big companies. That only really means that I really put myself out there. Yeah, I did put myself out there by applying and dreaming that I would get these, which is part of dreaming, is the hope that you would get it. But, I would say 99.9% of the time, rejection is really also a huge part of dreaming as well, and just life in general. Just to talk about some of the projects that I actually got rejected to, and we will talk about that, is in 2020, specifically right before the pandemic started, Marissa, Trixie, and myself really aimed high and big to apply for the Adobe Creative Residency, in which I believe they were gonna be sponsoring up to 3 or 4 people, I forget at this point, where they would give them a year of residency in New York to live the dream as a creative. And as we all know, March 2020 happened, or 2020 happened in general, and neither of us got it. So that's the first one. The following year, just another, scheme that I had in my mind. I was like, what if I applied to the KPBS Explore page? Explore page. Yeah, KPBS Explore program. They, every few years or so, they have an open form for suggestions for content that they would help sponsor and produce. Shout out Ati Vida. We definitely hammed out some pretty good ideas, and we were actually expecting to get chosen, like most people do when they apply for something, and it didn't happen. And in fact, no, just kidding, I'm not gonna put the shade out there. No shade. We're nice over here. Now in 2022, I actually haven't heard anything back, but I did recently apply for the new gen / Netflix, in partnership with Netflix, for a program residency that they're doing to fund emerging LGBTQIA+ filmmakers, including myself. Double checked everything, no age requirement. There was one thing that I needed to make sure that I had to put on hold, just so I could, so I could apply. Netflix New Gen, if you're watching this, please accept EDRIAN PANGILINAN as one of your chosen filmmakers for this program, Char. Aside from the fact of, the sucky feeling of being rejected, I was able to realize that, I really have to be proud of myself for for dreaming big and, trying to make something out of myself by applying for these opportunities that will always be there. And for the most part, it's free to apply. Sometimes you have to pay. But my point in that is it's free to dream. You just got to do the work, and, the right one will come to you. And on that note, I actually want to segue to the last section of the video, in which I have Jessa Zaragosa, Dingdong Avanzado, and their daughter Jayda talk about their thoughts on rejection. Check it out. So with the show called Revelations, can you guys actually reveal to us what are your thoughts on rejection, and how have you guys been able to power through that and not let that get to you? Jayda, would you like to start first?
For sure, yeah. Well, the way I feel about rejection and what I've been taught about rejection is it's all just part of the journey. And especially when you're beginning in your career and at any point in life in general, like, you will encounter it. But I think it's just a matter of how to handle it and being mentally strong and knowing that you just attribute it to experience. I think that's really just the best attitude to have about rejection. Of course, we're all human. Feelings are valid, and it's okay to be emotional sometimes about it. But I think at the end of the day, just keeping your passion in mind and persevering through it is really just the key. And every day, I think when I personally encounter rejection, I just think about how much I love what I do, and that keeps me going.
Yeah.
Ikaw.
Rejection kasi hindi naman mawawala talaga sa buhay yan. So you just have to, just keep going, and para sa akin, you only compete with yourself.
Yeah, when the word rejection comes to mind, it's it's just part of life. You can't, you can't please everybody, and there are people with have different mindsets, and like what Jayda said, you just don't let that sink in, or let that be there in your head. You can't let it linger there. It'll just it comes, but then you just set it aside, because you have to stay the course of what you're setting out to achieve. There will be times that you're going to get rejected, but hey, you just get back up and stay the course. And those people, the winners, the people that get to be successful are the ones that stay the course and not get sidetracked and not feel like they're always a victim of something. Don't think about what other people always say about you, because everybody has their own opinions and all.
Always.
But you have to realize your self-worth, and also what you're set out to do. And everybody's different. We have our individuality. So what's important is what you make of yourself, what you make of your life. And later on, when people see that you become successful, and they gravitate to you, because you just have that positive aura, right? Because if you let rejection come in and settle there, you exude a different aura. It's about negativity and all that, and you don't want that to linger. Just always be positive and focused on what you're doing.
Tsaka lagi, laban.
Yeah.
Y'all, we made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Lodi, Dingdong, Jessa, and Jayda for, talking to me and answering my questions about your thoughts on rejection. Also to Miss Henny Espinoza, thank you. Thank you, Miss Pia. Shout out to Rhea, to all the my friends from the press from TFC. Thank you for inviting me again. I always want to express my gratitude. Catch their show, Revelations. All the information will be on the description box below. And I hope myself to make the show in San Francisco, maybe or maybe not. But on that note, we made it to the end of the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you in my next content, next vlog, next podcast. Soul Supremacy Season 3 will be actually premiering on March 25th with a very, very special guest, in which you will find out very soon on this channel. Bye, y'all!
TFC presents the music that carried us through our painful days. And to our most romantic times. This March, experience music, love, nostalgia, in a night full of revelations. Dingdong Avanzado and Jessa Zaragosa, bringing you the songs that will take you back in time with the greatest revelation of their love. Jayda, Revelation. This March 12, 2022, 6:30 p.m. at Alex Theater, 216 North Brand Boulevard, Glendale. And on March 26, 2022, 6 p.m. at Fox Theater, Redwood City. Get your tickets now.
Kill anybody you heard. Step on tour, nobody for say a word.